Hello everyone and welcome to the Ravens Training Ground Week 11 update. Today is September 3rd. This week we had 24 commits from 6 different contributors, which brings our lifetime commits to 244 from 11 lifetime contributors, and coincidentally we also just finished week 11 of 15. This week we had McFunkyPants come in and remove the Pro Builder from the level 3 level and the battle system, so now those are loading much better. Also increased the radius of the lighting due to the scale of the size that I changed them to be. And came in and added an animation to the pause menu and also reset the pause timeline when you're unpausing. Gabriel rotated the particles that were in level 3 to come from the bottom up rather than from the side to the other side. MD Fuchs added the exploration music into the overworld or like walking around sections of the level. And Christian came in and did a bunch of work into our battle system. He moved the camera logic to its own script, created prefabs for the player profiles, decoupled the icons and rigid bodies from the characters, added event listeners, both getters and setters, for the health changes, as well as set it to a specific UI component, added icons and events for the magic points changed, and moved it out of the battle so that way the battle doesn't control the UI anymore. And now the battle moves to the unit before you press the space key instead of happening at or afterwards. And then I went through and started in on the base currency system and the base inventory system, and then began working on the scriptable objects for a couple of the inventory items. So let's jump on over to our demo here. First I wanted to showcase what McFunkyPants and Gabriel worked on with the new and improved level loading. And you can also hear MD Fuchs' music in the background. So you can see the particle system now coming up from the lava, as well as moving, instead of moving from side to side, and we can also like move around the level without it crashing or freezing. So thank you very much to the three of you for that. Next I want to go into look at the pause menu that we have here. So this came to us from Ian. So if we press the P key to pause it, we have that super cool pause menu here, and everything freezes in there. I don't think any of these buttons are functional yet, but the animation is looking so cool, so thank you for that, Ian. Next, I want to jump into what I was working on with the currency system and the inventory system. There's not a lot that is functional at the moment, but we do have like a little bottle cap thing up here showcasing the amount of money that the player has, and this will be our money system. We can toggle between the items and the different clothes. We also have a start on the scriptable objects over here, indicating what the player can purchase and the availability in the store and what all it can do. So the idea is to tie that to the players themselves so that way it can be added into their stats. So if we jump on over to the battle side of things, we can see what Christian was working on. And you can hear the battle music that came from MD Fuchs. But you can see, hovering your mouse, you can see the little icon that's going on around the different enemies. You can press the space key, and you can see the animation that plays. You can see the health of the different enemies appear as they took damage, and then we moved on to the next character. So we can now flow through the different battle sequence here. We go up to an enemy, we can press the space key, and then they play through their attack animation. So it's a much smoother flow out of this. We'll change some of the angles that the camera's looking at, but thank you so much for all of your work on this, Christian. It's just been incredible to see what all you've come up with. But we can also still accelerate through the battle by pressing all of the instant kills on the enemies. And we have our little animation sequence, and you can see where the player now has earned 32 of these bottle caps, or like shiny things that they can use into the store that we just saw earlier. So I believe that is all that is in the game for this week. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think that covers everything. So now if we look over at the Trello here, we're in the final stretch, just 4 weeks left. I want to get through and actually finish up the item system, the inventory system, and the currency system, so that way the player can buy and equip different things into the battle as well as onto the characters themselves, which should take up a pretty good chunk of it. But we also have quite a bit of writing to do. We have a little bit more programming work to do. We have some sound effects if anybody would like to jump in and take care of that. We have writing and animation left to do, and then we're home free. So that is the Ravens Training Ground update for this week.